Good morning, team. In our 10th Corporate Law webinar series, we are going to discuss an interesting topic, SME listing. SME is in the growing space, and in order to create awareness amongst the SME participants, be it issuers, intermediaries, the market participants, and the entrepreneurs, we have taken up this initiative to start this series on SME listing. Each session, we will start with a question and we will deal with that particular question. And if you have any clarification on the subject, please feel free to approach us. It all started during the year 2012. In September 2012, the SME listing became the norm. During the initial phase, only top companies, and of course, those companies which were backed by the government support, they were quite confident in running and trading in this SME platform. Slowly, the other companies also entered into this segment. Why SME listing? Before we get into what are the eligibility criteria for SME listing, it creates an ample opportunity and, more importantly, access to market. When I say access to market, it is not only capital, it is the equity funding which is required. It is also in the form of loan. So for debt tapping also, this particular SME platform, when it is listed, provides ample opportunity to the target segment. When we take the data, thanks to NSE again, they have provided this data that there are 5 lakh companies, SMEs, of which 90% are in micro segment, 6 to 7% are in small segment, and the remaining 3 to 4% they are in the medium segment. So to target all these 5 lakh members, if you go back to the history, we already noticed that 2012 you had the SME listing, the light of the day. Nitin Gadkari, in his address, made a mention in August 2019, which had a landmark of 200 companies getting listed. Of course, today we have 220 corporates in SME Emerge platform. Friends, there are 2 listing platforms currently available. One, NSE, the other one is BSE, the top exchanges in India. NSE, they are running this trading platform in the nomenclature NSE Emerge, and BSE is running its trading platform under the wing called BSE SME platform. Both the stock exchanges, in order to create awareness, are providing lot of training sessions, and also their website provides handful of documents along with the detailed list as to what are the activities, step-by-step approach to get into this SME listing. Now let's get into the regulation. SEBI ICDR regulation, Chapter 9 deals with this SME listing. Now we will get into today's session. What are the criteria for SME listing? For you to get into this listing, when we are aware that it is coupled with lot of opportunities, what are the eligibility criteria? In our session for the day, we will understand the common eligibility criteria for both the exchanges, that is NSE and BSE, and then we will move on to the specific eligibility criteria as laid down in NSE Emerge platform and BSE platform. The provision for this purpose is Regulation 229 in Chapter 9 of SEBI ICDR, friends. Thanks to my team members, Aishwarya and Jitesh, for compiling this presentation. These are a couple of legends which we are going to use for the day. Of course, most of them you will be aware of. EBIDT, EBDT we will be talking about in NSE, BSE eligibility criteria. What is the percentage of your operating profit and how many years it has to be maintained. Very simple criteria, plain vanilla criteria prescribed. Why? More to give impetus to this particular NSE or BSE listing platform, and also to invite the audience, they have provided minimum eligibility criteria. When you go to this regulation 229, it clearly says that the limit is 10 crore, and then 10 to 25 you have this SME and also main board. Friends, we are aware that there are two platforms available. One is NSE or the BSE or the relevant stock exchanges. You have the main board. And when it comes to such specific categories of listing, be it SME, if they are not complying with the chapter 2, the predominant criteria of ICDR regulations, then they can move on to the SME listing. That is one. And we will also see for SME, there is this biggest benefit available to move or migrate to the main board. So main board and SME listing. So two trading platforms. This is the outline which we just discussed. The benefits available for SME listing and the eligibility criteria, and we will conclude with how many companies have migrated to the main board, which is one of the significant benefit available under SME listing. SME listing. No doubt, it is an opportunity for all the SME entities to trade their securities akin to all the public companies. And today we have two platforms, as mentioned earlier, NSE Emerge and BSE SME platform. These SMEs, small medium enterprises, could avail this opportunity to avail various benefits coupled with limited cost. So it is thus an emerging platform which is available and provides this mechanism as a convergence for two participants. Who are they? One, emerging companies. On the other side, you have all these sophisticated investors who would be keen to invest in such compliant companies. Of course, these companies are governed by corporate governance norms, and hence disclosure is not going to be scarce. Why SME listing? It provides wide recognition. It attracts both Indian and foreign investors. It provides access to capital. Why do you require capital? When it comes to SME, you are having a lot of innovative ideas. So for growth or innovation or acquisition, you have this tapping of capital, which is the significant benefit available for SME listing. Liquidity for investors. How do you get liquidity? You approach the bankers or financial institutions. When you are listed, you have an edge over unlisted companies. Thus, you have additional liquidity mechanism. When there is additional liquidity, you have more funds to play around. Visibility on getting listed. You get wide visibility. Thus, you have greater visibility, you have greater credibility, you attract and retain talents. Friends, when we see most of these startup companies, you have young talents. So how will you retain those talents? Because if you're not going to retain the talent, the risk is they might jump to some other company. So what will you do to retain the talent? You will provide them ESOPs, the employee stock options. So when you provide this benefit, there is a great possibility for them to stay with your company. Thus, tapping of this great potential called ESOPs is thus available for SME listing. And most importantly, migration to main board. Because when you are in main board, you have several benefits attached and subject to prescribed conditions under your regulations. If you go to the regulation, again, the conditions are very simple. The procedural formality is also very easy to comply with. We will look at it in the concluding session while we deal with this specific topic, that is migration to main board. Now, let's move on to eligibility criteria. Common criteria for both the exchanges we will see. Then criteria which is specific to NSE. Finally, criteria which is exclusively listed in BSE. Again, for NSE, BSE, the source which we have taken for this purpose is the relevant websites, friends. Issuer company has to be incorporated under Companies Act, the old Act 1956, or the prevalent Act, which is 2013. The capital shall be up to 10 crores, which is covered under SME. If your capital is between 10 crores and 25 crores, then you have this option of additionally getting listed under main board. So if it is 10 crores, it is exclusively SME. If it is 10 to 25, you can get listed both under SME and also your main board. This is with reference to your rate 229 of ICDR. both the exchanges have this common phenomenon called positive net worth. So you should certainly have positive net worth to approach for listing. Now let's see what are the additional eligibility criteria which are prescribed under NSE Emerge platform. Applicant, be it the promoter or the promoting company, which is incorporated in or outside India. It could also be a firm or LLP or partnership firm, which is interesting, friends, because 229, when you read subreg 3, it talks about all these additional entities also. And additional clause provided in NSE platform is they should have been converted into a company. So that's very important. Seeking listing with a track record of 3 years. So you should be in existence for at least 3 years. Promoter is thus defined in NSE platform as one or more persons, again with track record of 3 years, and also showing experience in the same line of business and holding at least 20% of the equity share capital, either severally or individually. Now comes your operating profit. For this purpose, NSE talks about EBIDT, that is earnings before interest, depreciation and tax. The subtle difference between this and BSE is there it talks about EBIT from operations. So you should have earned operating profits for at least 2 out of 3 financial years. Friends, here NSE emphasizes that while you make an application with track record of 3 years, it is sufficient if you show the performance of operating profit for 2 years. That is, 3rd year, even if you have incurred loss, they are fine with it. This is the specific mention of this particular language. This company should not have been referred to BIF for sick provisions or no proceedings under Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code against the issuer and the promoting companies. This company should not have received any winding up petition, either from NCLT, that is the tribunal for the purpose, or the court. And no disciplinary action or material regulatory provisions or the authority should not have imposed any such notices against this company for violations during the past 3 years against this applicant company. So all these are the additional eligibility criterion prescribed under NSE. They also provide the disclosure norms. Any material, regulatory or disciplinary action which was initiated by the stock exchange or any other authority in the past 1 year in respect of 1, the promoter or promoting companies or the group companies, 2, against the applicant company or the company which is promoted by these promoters or promoting companies. Then, if there is any default in your obligations, that is your interest payments or your principal payments, your financial obligations, if they are not met with in repayment of your debenture interest or payment of your principal or bonds or fixed deposits likewise, then again it is for both the target audience, be it your applicant promoter promoting companies or the companies which are promoted by these promoters. And the litigation status, again for both the segments. Track record of the directors. When you talk about the track record of your directors of this issuer company, in the instant case being the SME company, the criminal cases filed against the directors, and if any of the directors have been charge sheeted with serious crimes like murder, rape, economic offences, which has an impact on the business of the company, is an additional string attached to this. In those cases, you may have to provide the additional disclosures while you go for this particular listing. And in BSE, it is almost the same, but as mentioned earlier, the operating profit, we will see that there it was EBIDT and here it is EBIT, what they have mentioned. And then the company, again the track record is 3 years, and in case if the company has not, additionally, as compared to your NSE, here they have provided additional leeway that in case if the company has not completed its operation with a track record of 3 years, then the company or the firm or LLP should have been funded by the banks or FIs or state or central government, and the group company should be listed for at least 2 years, either on the main board or the SME board of the exchange. So if that is the case, then they are taking cognizance of these additional credentials available, and if they have not completed their operation for 3 years, they are considering on merits provided this additional condition is complied with. Net tangible asset should be at least 1.5 crores, and for EBDT here it is any 1 year out of last 3 years. There in NSE we saw 2 out of 3 years, and it is EBIDT, here it is only EBDT. So that is the subtle difference. And additionally, BSE also provides this condition that it is mandatory to facilitate trading in the demat securities and also to have this agreement with the depositories, be it your NSDL or CDSL, and it is mandatory for the company to have a website in place, and there should not have been any change in the promoters during the preceding 1 year from the date of filing the application to BSE for listing under this SME platform. And like your NSE Emerge, here also the company should not have been referred to BIFR under your SICA provisions, or no winding up petition admitted either by the court or NCLT. Finally, we get into migration to main board. I told you that Chapter 9 of ICDR also provides that migration to main board is available subject to certain conditions which you comply with. And the procedural formality is you just need to get the approval from your shareholders for this particular purpose of migration from SME platform to your main board, which has additional benefits for the purpose of listing. And also you may have to take the approval of shareholders by way of postal ballot by passing a special resolution, and the votes are also clearly specified: 2 times votes in favor against the votes cast against the resolution. So this is the condition attached to this migration. Now the advantage available for this particular purpose is there are 2 trading platforms available for this purpose. One, the main board segment, the other one being SME segment. And SME listed on primary market, that is the SME platform, can be migrated to the main board upon fulfillment of the criterion. And as on date, we have seen that in NSE Emerge platform, there are 75 companies which are migrated. The last company being listed on 6th July 2021. And in BSE, you have 109 companies which are migrated. Thus, most of the companies are taking benefit out of this particular migration. And when you go to these trading platforms, the benefit which is available is there is lot of education or mentoring happening to all these SME platforms, both NSE and BSE, and they have robust system in place. Thus, access to the capital market is also available when you get into listing, which we already observed, and state-of-art system makes it an additional incentive for the issuer or the intermediaries to play around this particular platform and reap the benefits out of it. MSE has around 220 SMEs listed on the platform. Again, the source is from NSE Emerge platform. As the securities are traded in this regular platform, the institutional risk investors will be interested to invest in fast-growing companies. And this also provides a new and viable opportunity to all your investors and also to your issuer, because it is helping them to raise the capital in the form of your equity, in most important addition being in an efficient manner because of the state-of-art system which is available for the listing. And SME thus has good potential and scalability, and also provides an opportunity to raise capital at ease. Friends, with this, we are concluding the first session of this SME listing. I'll be glad to take your questions. Otherwise, we will head to the next session with few more interesting questions and to ponder on the answers which we are seeking for SME listing. Thank you very much.